Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, there it is. Call this meeting to order. 7:02. I would take a motion to approve the agenda.
I'll move out.
Sorry about that. I can't even do what. Take a second.
Second.
All those in favor, please say aye. Opposed? That passes. Are you going to watch on?
Yeah.
Jenny voting for that? I get going too fast on it, just let me know. Number 2, scripture reading with Pastor.
Tonight I have for us from this book called Every Moment Holy that I really love. This is called a liturgy for the labors of the community, our community here at church and at school. Our lives are so small, O Lord, our vision so limited, our courage so frail, our hours so fleeting. So give us grace and guidance for the journey ahead. We are gathered here because we believe that we are called together to work together. And yet we cannot know the fullness of that work. And still we trust the voice of the one who has called us. And so we offer to you, O God, these things, our dreams, our plans, our vision. Shape them as you will, our moments and our gifts. May they be invested towards bright, eternal ends. Richly bless the work before us, Father. Shepherd us well, lest we grow enamored of our own accomplishment or entrenched in old habit. Instead, let us listen for your voice, our hearts ever open to the quick beckonings of your Spirit in this endeavor. Let us, in true humility and poverty of spirit, remain ever ready to move at the impulse of your love in paths of your design. You alone, O God, by your gracious and life-giving Spirit, have power to knit our imperfect hearts, our weaknesses, our strengths, our stories, and our gifts, and one to another. Unite your people and multiply our meager offerings, O Lord, that all might resound to your glory. May our acts of service and creation, frail and wanting as they are, be met and multiplied by the mysterious workings of your Spirit, who weaves all things together for your good. May our love and our labors now echo your love and your labors, O Lord. Let all that we do here in these our brief lives, in this our brief moment, in this the work you have ordained for this community, of greater glories yet to come. O Spirit of God, now shape our hearts. O Spirit of God, now guide our hands. O Spirit of God, now reveal your kingdom among us. Amen.
Thank you, Pastor. Number 3, reception of any new voting members. We didn't have anyone on our list. Is there anyone online we're missing?
I don't think so.
They can raise their virtual hand if they do. Now we'll move on to number 4, state of the parish. 4 by Pastor Jon.
Good evening, everyone. It's great to see you. Glad that you're here. Did everybody get a copy of the pastor's report? Everybody have a copy of it? In this particular report, I just wanted to kind of show you what the numbers have been so far from the last time that we had our voters meeting that we had in November. And one there, I had provided the October numbers at that time. So I wanted to give you the October, November, December, and then we're almost done with January. And to kind of give you an idea of where we're at. Now, around this time last year, just to give you a reference, we were averaging about 366 in worship on the weekend. So you can see that we have consistently been about a third, within a third of the members that have been coming. Now that is just the physical presence. We've also had a good presence on the live stream and on the videos too. So we can keep that in mind also. But right now, what we have is we've been around 176 is what we had as an average in October, all the way down to 149 in November, and then January 162. So you can see that that's what we're averaging right now, about in the 160 to 170. That is kind of what's happening across Fort Dodge right now, as far as about a third of the members have been coming back. If you see at the bottom, you'll see the Advent, Christmas, and New Year. Just to give you some numbers there. The 12 p.m. Numbers are boosted because of our Sunday school. I'm sorry, our school kids, and we are able to have about I think we had 76. Yeah, 76 on the 16th of December for the 7 o'clock. You see the 50 and the 39. There were some questions within the elders of whether we should have 3 worship services for Christmas Eve, and I think that worked out well for us. We were nicely spaced, but we also had good attendance for that 3 p.m. service, the 5:30, and then the 10 p.m. service. So just kind of give you an idea. Also, Christmas Day, you see the number there, and then New Year's Eve. If you flip the page to the next page, we'll be moving into some sermon series and some information. But does anybody have any questions about the worship trends right now? Just remember, we're not about the numbers, but the numbers also clue us into what's been going on. So I just wanted to see if anybody had any questions about that. All right. Okay, let's move on to sermon series. Right now we are in the midst of the upside down view of a disciple of Jesus. That's what we're doing currently. When we move into the weekend series during Lent, we will be doing Following Christ to the Cross. We will be looking at different people that are talked about in John's Gospel as we work our way to Easter. So looking forward to that during the weekend, Following Christ to the Cross. The one thing that I know that Pastor Jon and I are excited about is the midweek Lent. We're going to be doing a Return to the Lord. And what we're going to be doing is actually a pulpit exchange. We're going to be exchanging with Prince of Peace, Good Shepherd, and then here at St. Paul. So we will be having different pastors here on the Wednesday night. We'll be scheduling in a rotation, and it's another great opportunity for us. Just like we had the hymn sing for Advent, it's a great opportunity for us to be able to have that connection with the other 2 congregations in our here in Fort Dodge. So looking forward to that. When you get into the point of interest, the circuit forum was held. That's a misprint. It was actually in November. There were 8 people in attendance, and at that meeting, I was elected as the new circuit visitor. Supposedly to start June 2021, but we'll be talking about that here in a little bit. You can see the visioning update. There has been 3 meetings with the leadership as far as the visioning update, and now we will be scheduling 2 meetings for congregational members to attend. At those meetings, we will share demographic findings and then the vision statement that the leadership had come up with so that we can get feedback and continue to hone down that vision statement so that we can move forward with that statement. Again, the vision is right now we are disciples of Christ making disciples for Christ. That's the Great Commission. That's not going to change. But how we make that a reality over these next 2 years is what the vision statement that we are working on currently. So just keep an eye out as to when we will be having those 2 meetings. It'll be within the next 3 weeks, so it'll be very quick. This past week, I was in Austin, Texas for my first doxology seminar. My doxology seminar, I will have 3 different seminars, and we went through the first one. It was very, very helpful, and I was thankful for that opportunity. And on approval of the elder, Pastor Jon will be beginning Pastoral Leadership Institute, PLI. He'll be starting in April of this year. And so looking forward to being able to have him have that experience also. So very excited. Just so you know that since the beginning of the year, this year, we've had 7 funerals. And I continue to ask you to keep these families in your prayers as they are grieving. So it's been a busy time over these last few weeks. Easter services, one of the things that the elders and I will be discussing is whether we need to have a 3rd service for Easter, similarly with what we did for Christmas, whether we would have that 3rd Easter service to keep in mind spacing and social distancing. So that's something that we will be discussing. Just kind of wanted to put it on your radar that we'll be doing that. Both Pastor Jon and I had our first COVID-19 vaccine shot this afternoon, and we're planning to partner with the Webster County Health Department to schedule a clinic for those that are 65 and over in our congregation and school that would like to receive a vaccine shot. So keep an eye out for that information as we seek to partner with Webster County Health Department to do that. Any questions before I get to the last 2 items? Okay, the next item is a convention referendum. We were asked to vote on this particular referendum. I'm going to read it real quick. There has been a submission to a vote of the members of the congregation of the Lutheran Church Missouri Synod that this letter would provide that information for us. We need to turn it in by February 15th of 2021. The question is as follows. Shall the Synod add a year to the current 2019-2022 triennium, allowing districts to hold their conventions in either 2021 or 2022, and move the upcoming National Synod Convention from 2022 to 2023. Thereafter, the triennium cycle will continue forward from 2023 in 3-year increments as before. So normally we would have a 3-year increment, which means this year we would have our synodical convention, and then next year would be the synodical convention. I'm sorry, the district convention is this year, and then the synodical convention is next year. What they're asking is because of the current climate that we have with COVID-19 concerns, they're asking if we would approve as a congregation here at the voters meeting of adding a year so that next year would be the district convention and the following year would be the synodical convention. So just wanted to throw that open for a vote. The vote is either yes or no. So those who vote yes, raise your hand. Those that vote no, all right, okay. So I will go ahead and report this. What I need to do to report it is I go online, I report it, and then 2 of the officers need to be a part of it. I've already talked to Ryan about it. Daryl, would you be willing to be one to, as an officer, to to, or is there someone else that would be willing as an officer to go ahead and say, yes, this is what we voted? Would you be willing to do that?
I'll vote.
Okay. The next thing on the list there is the nomination for district president and first and second vice president, and then also a lay delegate or alternate lay delegate. So even though it's probably going to go through for us to move forward with adding a year to the triennium, they still want us to kind of go through the practice in case it doesn't go through. And so I'm just going to throw it out. If anybody has any nominations for district president, anybody have any nomination for us to consider for district president? Yeah,
Who's the district president now?
the district president is Steve Turner, President Turner.
There's no term limit, is there? There's no term limit?
He
I
said
thought I can't
Term limit.
There's no
No.
term limit. I make a motion that we nominate President or Steve Turner as president.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Is there anybody else? We can do two for each position. So is there anyone else that anyone would like to nominate? Just want to open that up for president. Okay, seeing none, anyone have any nomination that they would like to put forward for first vice president?
Who's the current?
I think Paul Egger is the first vice president.
What are the qualifications to be?
He would need to be a pastor.
Right.
Yeah, and I would do that. Okay, seeing none, what about second vice president? We can put forward two names. I would like to put forward for second vice president, Pastor Thackeray, and was wondering if anyone would be objected to that. Any objection?
Second.
Okay. Is there a second there? Okay, and all in favor?
Roger. Make you, is he second vice president right now? Roger.
Yeah, you caught me on that one. I think it's, oh, he's up north, over in,
That's all right.
I can't remember.
Roger Carlisle is first vice president.
Roger
Paul Egger
Paul
is
Egger,
second.
second.
I knew Roger.
Carlisle.
Roger.
I got it mixed up. Carlisle is first and then Egger is second. Okay, any other regard to that for second vice president? All right, thank you very much. Now we need to go ahead and we need to nominate a lay delegate and an alternate lay delegate for the convention. That lay delegate would be a representative from here, from St. Paul, and would go along with Pastor Jon and I to the convention and would be able to vote on behalf of St. Paul. The alternate lay delegate would be if the lay delegate is sick or not able for one reason or another to be able to fill that role, that alternate lay delegate would be in place. Does anybody have recommendation for a lay delegate?
I nominate Ryan.
Nominate Ryan? Okay. I guess is there a second to that? Okay, all in favor? All opposed? Okay, now we need to do the alternate lay delegate, and Dale, you had your hand up.
Nominate Ken Hayes.
Okay. Ken Hayes, are you accepting of that?
Sure.
Okay, and all in favor? Actually, is there a second to that?
Yes.
Second, all in favor? Okay, anybody opposed? Ken, are you opposed?
No, I'm not.
All right, okay.
And-
All right, and that is all I got. Any questions that you have on the report? Thank you for helping me to get these out so we can get them in due order and on time. Thank you for that.
Thank you, Pastor. Number 5, state of the school report by principal. I don't see Mark here right now. Skip over that one. Number 6, minutes of the regular meeting on November 24th. That was over there on the table. Can I get a motion to approve the minutes from November 24th? So move. Motion is second. Any discussion on them or additions, deletions, anything like that? If not, all in favor, please say aye. Opposed? So that passed unanimously. Treasurer's report, Nancy?
Of course, if you got your epistle today, it actually was in the epistle today anyway, so, I'm not gonna go much into detail. We have now decided, to have a little bit clarity that we're actually splitting up the income and expenses of both church and school separately on the paper. And after that, you can see the school actual versus budget. Okay. Just basically, the month of December, last month for activity, our total income between church and school was $100,281.21. Our total expenses between church and school was $96,174.95. So that was our balance in the account of December 31st. And our building fund account has a balance of $8,998.03. Thank you, we did make our mission commitment for 2020. So the other comment I will just quickly make is we are not able to apply for this round of the PPP loan. The government has actually put in one extra qualification for those that already did apply once, and that you had to show a 25% reduction in one of the 3 quarters of 2020. We did have a reduction of one, but it was about 21%. So, Lord willing, even with attendance and that we will have parishioners that watch online as well as naturally in church, and that give back to the Lord to thank them for the work we do here. So.
Any questions from Nancy?
I think I did, we did end the year higher than we did the year 2019, right? Yeah.
Totally, between church and school income, yes, we did.
Any others? Thanks, Nancy.
Okay.
That PPP loan, kind of a double-edged sword. It says you're good enough that you don't need the help, but you're just good enough not to need that help. So it's unfortunate on that. Nancy and I both crunched numbers to make sure it was under that 25%. Number 8, foundation report. Anyone on foundation? All right, Doug got it.
Already this year, 4 requests have been approved for payment. We delivered those checks today to Nancy. Basement renovation fund, the archive room, $13,400. And then we had 3 requests, all funded from the building and property fund, matching fund, The total there was $5,161. Those were for security cameras, emergency light, heat tape for the church roof, and miscellaneous electrical work. As I prepared this yesterday, I was ready to remind you that this is a legacy gift, which means that when it's gone, it's gone. And we got this gift in January 2019. It was a $31,000 gift from an anonymous donor, and it required matching of the congregation. So I was ready to tell you, we need to think about how we want to spend that $15,000. But then I got an email from Jack Christensen, our treasurer, and he informed us that Ron Weeding, our Thriving representative, notified the foundation that an anonymous gift has been given to the foundation for the building property fund in the amount of $39,021.79. All the restrictions stay, so that money now can be matched by the congregation. And I know, Art, we've talked about the need to prioritize projects and stuff. So totally right now, as of today, in the building and property fund, we have $54,854.79. Join me in a prayer of thanksgiving. Dear Heavenly Father, thank you for cultivating the gift of generosity in this anonymous donor. May we use this gift to your glory. In Jesus' name. Amen.
Doug, I have a
Yeah.
question. This new donation, is it strictly, this new donation is strictly for the church, or is it
Yes.
for?
It's for the church proper.
For everything, for the whole church, our school?
For the church, so I guess anything on this side of
Okay,
the,
so it's the same stipulation as the last donation.
that's my understanding
Okay.
for the.
We could use it on the other side of the wall.
Yeah. I know, but there's other funds and other ways we can raise those.
Okay.
I should point out that we do have a new form, and they're available in the office. And if you recall, the last time, I think I mentioned that and anything over $1,000 requires TAC approval. So that's worked on the new form. And I can give you this one. It's a good one. And then also, as of December 31st, that's when our endowment funds are identified. We have several endowment funds, but 4 have money in them. Unrestricted, we have 14,482 available. This school fund, we have $14,800 available, and that's for school tuition. It does allow for curriculum, but predominantly school tuition. Youth and Christian education, $1,039, and mission fund $99.
Thank you, Doug, and thank you for that great news. Number 9, reports of administrative boards. First one, elders. Daryl, do you want to come up?
The elders report for this meeting, we only had just one meeting of the elders since the November voters meeting. There was no meeting in December, so there isn't too much to report. Things that we discussed is church seating will remain the same as it is right now for the near future anyway. We keep looking at this every month. We discussed 3 Easter services. Decision to be made on that. Pastor Meyer reported that Pastor Janke will be going to the Pastoral Leadership Conference. And the other thing is we moved the elders meeting to the first Tuesday of the month. And that'll permit the pastors to have a Tuesday night at home, which is rare for them. So they have school board at 6 o'clock that night, and we'll have elders at 7, so, and that'll free them up from having to come 2 different Tuesday nights. That's all I have for now.
Thank you, Daryl. Next one, Christian Day School, Tom?
Mine's real brief. Of most importance, as you all know, that we are going to lose our principal next year. A call committee is being formed. It may already be completed by this time. And the very good news about it is we'll actually have some people to talk to. So that's a process, and hopefully on that line that we can start next school year with a principal in place.
Christian, thank you, Tom.
I can give an update on that.
And that's all, by the way, before you speak, 100% credit to that man right there. He just, it's like bull in a china shop, just takes it and goes.
Just wanted to let you know, there are 5 principals that are on the list. I've heard back from all of them, so we have 3 of them that we're gonna be interviewing. Supposed to get 2 or 3 more names by within the next couple days. We're also looking at what the teacher situation will look like for next year and begin that process. But our hope is to begin the interview process for principals by the end of this week. We had one principal that we had called last year, and he had declined because of the COVID concerns at that time. He decided not to be interviewed this time around. Just simply for the same reason, and also he has a son that's going to be a junior this coming year and didn't feel like that they could move right now. So we're continuing our search, and spoken to 3 of them. They're ready to be interviewed at the end of this week, so that's where we're at.
All right, thank you, Tom, thank you, Pastor, on that one. Christian Growth, I don't see Erica. Did she have any updates from anyone? All right, if not, we'll move on to E, Church Properties, Art.
Not a whole lot going on. There's a lot going on. No, the weather kind of slows us down. I think snow is going on. Last summer we had that hailstorm. The roof on the church is steel, so they won't do anything with that because it's just cosmetic. There's nothing structurally wrong with it. The flat roof on the church or the school, both the new and old part of the school, we had one contractor or whatever, he kind of fights for the low man on total pole against insurance companies. They took the core of the roof, found out that the hail had damaged the insulation underneath the coating, the rubber top, so it is physically damaged. He said he'd fight for us for a percentage of the roof, so whatever the outcome is. As of right now, the roof would cost, big estimate around $100,000 to do the roofs. We have a $10,000 deductible. His fee would be like $10,000. We get buck with, but it's a lot cheaper than having to pay for the whole roof ourselves. And the roofs are in time for being replaced. Put blackjack on them multiple times, different spots. So that's one of the things we were working on, getting quotes, getting that ball rolling for the summer. Church Properties has a list of different things we need to do. This next month, we're going to prioritize them, try to get some figures, some numbers onto what the job is going to cost us.
Yeah.
And actually, we can listen.
The room downstairs, the archive room, if I understand right, the walls are all up, the electrical's being done, as of right now. I did go down there this past couple days to look at it. I'm pretty sure they got the drywall on the inside of the wall too now.
Yeah.
So that's coming real good. If you've ever been down the basement at night, if you get off the elevator, it's dark. Since we're gonna use it more now, there's actual rooms that are gonna be using, I recommend that we put a light down at the bottom of the step of the elevator room there, entryway, that's on all the time. Add an extra light at the bottom of the steps, kind of dark down there, and then have an emergency light installed. So if the power does go out, there's gonna be light in that corner, so we can get in and out. I don't have the exact price on the extra light at the bottom of the steps, roughly $650 for the light and the backup light in the entryway. Kind of request price from the foundation, I think around $900, that should cover the lights. I've got to put all the requisition forms here, showing that once I get the actual prices, which will be by tomorrow, hopefully.
You were looking with Baker Electric,
Yeah.
correct?
Baker Electric is doing the work downstairs now, under, Doyle Construction is doing actual, is the general contractor, and Baker's working underneath them. But since they're already here, we'll have, we're gonna just go ahead and do that. It's more for safety, because when you get off the steps, there's light. So,
Great idea.
work on it.
How do you want that done? Do you just want it on the form and deal with it that way? It's under 1,000, so it won't have to go to that.
Yeah, I mean, just fill it out on the form and it's under 1,000.
Okay, I'll touch base with you tomorrow, and get the exact number.
Yeah.
And we got a bunch of things we need to get done, but we'll get them all prioritized and to get a bigger picture on.
Are we gonna put that into the building and property one, so then the church needs to match one?
Well, I was gonna try to get it from the basic fund, basic fund down there,
No.
if that's possible.
And we can, well, once you get it in, I'll send it out electronically to the board and we'll get it back within.
Yeah. For me. I have no more information on that. The snow, the parking lot, I thought it would be a little bit better, but I think we probably found all this morning, went home, took a nap, we'll be back out tomorrow night, to finish up, cleaning it up. Yeah, I thought we had 5 to 6 inches, I heard we had up to 10. It's quite a task.
Perfect, thank you, Mark. What we had on the old business, we just had the update on the archive rooms. We got to that new business. Each one of them, we've got, well, A, B, C, and D. A, B, and C will need votes on for those. One item the elders have been working on was the salaries for the pastors and the church secretary. Darryl, please correct me here if I'm wrong. I believe what you said was keep everything as is for 6 months and then to review at that point, correct?
That's correct.
All right. So at this point, new business salaries of pastor and church secretary to remain the same for 6 months, but then a review at that 6 month. I take a motion for that.
Motion.
Or second? Motion and second. All those in favor, please say aye. Opposed? So that passed. 11B, approval of the 2021 mission commitment at PAC. Last week, we talked about that one. Our mission commitment to Iowa District West had been idle for the last few years. One area we talked about was if we're gonna have that mission, it should probably grow. Same theoretically increase of like a COLA, cost of living increase over that. What we talked about was a 5% increase every other year, which would be a 2.5% increase. When you're looking at cost of living, typically it's falling in a percent, 1.5 up to about 3.5. So we went with a median in there. So our recommendation was to increase it to $11.55 per month. Oh, I didn't write it down. Per month over the course of the year. And then 5.5%. So that way it's not a big chunk. When we do look to move our mission forward, we're doing it on a gradual basis, a little at a time, moving that up as that commitment, as everything goes up in cost. So in 11B, approval of that mission commitment would be $11.55 per month is our commitment to Iowa District West. Can I take a motion on that? And a second?
Second.
Thank you. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed? Show that passed. 11C, approval of the 2021 budget. Nancy talked about this one a little bit earlier. The Finance Committee came up with a balanced budget. It was a group effort on that one to get through it, to show the expense and revenues balancing out over that with the church and with the school. That was based off a lot of the school numbers, student numbers, tuitions, which kind of gets balanced out with the wages of how many staff we have and their benefits, kind of corresponding to that. So, and I would say, Nancy, correct me if I'm wrong, that was the first time that I've been looked at in that same manner, right?
Correct.
To have a balanced one, so.
Correct. Thank you for a couple of the members on the committee for suggesting that let's have a balanced one, and one particular individual that was just awesome at figuring it, so.
Perfect. So 11C, approval of the 2021 budget. Take a motion.
So moved.
Second. All those in favor, please say aye. Opposed? So that passed. 11D, visioning update. Can you take that one, Pastor?
I did that, I did that
Oh,
I did that during the report.
perfect. That one done. A closing prayer.
Right? Let's all stand and hear the Lord's Prayer together. We pray.
Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever and ever.
As you can see on the bottom, next voters meeting would be April 27th at 7 p.m. With that, anyone else have any additional comments? If not, I take a motion to adjourn. Second? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
So we're done. Thank you much.
I know we can go over.